That's cards. Put your message out in cards for low ticket items. Why? Well, if you know what the economy is saying right now, then you will understand why um, you need to actually just use cards. It takes more data for people to load videos. And if you are selling low ticket items, and by that I mean items that are below like 5,000 naira, they're selling items at 5,000 naira and below, the people who would want to buy what you are selling would not have money to load long videos that will tell your story. So you need to tell your story very short, simple, in a card. They get the message, they buy, and that's it. If you're on LinkedIn, then you need to key into thought leadership. And the best things that are working on LinkedIn now are videos. At the beginning, LinkedIn was a talk first, a post first platform. But things are beginning to change, and videos are actually doing well on LinkedIn now. So, and the algorithm is pushing those videos. So, attraction means that you understand the platform that you are on and what works best on that platform to attract people. And at this attraction level, there's a note there: cold audience versus warm audience. And I'm going to briefly talk about this. At the attraction level, you're asking yourself, am I dealing with a cold audience or a warm audience? I'll define what both audiences mean. A cold audience is an audience that doesn't know you. They haven't interacted with you. And so they're coming to you for the first time. And those are the people that you actually are talking to at the attraction level, people that do not know you. And that's why if you look at your Instagram metrics and you look at when you put out a reel versus when you put out a if when you put out a reel versus when you put out a carousel or a card, your carousel, your card does not get as much views as your reel because Instagram pushes your reel to non-followers. That's the cold audience that we're talking about. And if you are using Twitter now, you see that there are two different columns. There's the for you, and then there's the everyone. So those who follow you, and then everyone. And so when you do a hot take, Twitter will push it to people who are not following you as well. And so on the attraction phase, you think about your platform of choice and what that platform pushes to non-followers, because those non-followers are the cold audience that you're trying to attract. At the same time, your messaging would reflect that you're talking to people who have never seen you or know you before. And you're trying to pass a message to them. They don't care about you. Actually, that's the truth. No one cares about you and what you do. What they care about is whether your content is going to solve their problem. And so when you're creating content for a cold audience, you're thinking in terms of, this person doesn't know me, person doesn't care about me, but I'm trying to get their attention. So how will I do that? So that's what's at the back of your mind as you create content that attracts. And we always say this at Slvr: choose a platform. Some people believe that, oh, they should be all over the place. No, you do not need to be everywhere. You need to be where it matters. So if you're trying to sell very low ticket items or you're looking for a lot of awareness, go to TikTok. If you're looking to sell higher ticket items, go to Instagram. That's probably where you'll get your audience. And I remember one business person that we ran ads for, and one of those things that we had to do was to run an Instagram first approach. And that was when she started making sales. In fact, she was getting uh, 3 to 4 people out of every 3 to 4 conversations to convert. And then if you are, whatever platform that you choose, you need to understand that platform. Because social media is not the way it was back then, where anything goes. The platforms are becoming more aware of what they want to push. And then as they become aware of what they want to push, their algorithm is also trained to push those things. So the algorithm for the platforms push what the platforms want them to push. So as I was saying, the cold audience, they don't know you. So when you are trying to create content, you think of it in that way. Warm audiences, on the other hand, are people who follow you or who already know who you are and know the kind of content that you put out. And so they are not the people that you are trying to that you are trying to attract. They are not the people that you are trying to attract. And this is a mistake that we've seen lots of people who create content make. They create content for a warm audience and then show it to a cold audience. Of course, a mismatch happens, and the content does not accomplish what you want it to accomplish. Because you would agree that the way you would talk to a person who doesn't know you is different than the way you would talk to someone who knows you, who understands you, and knows what you're doing. So that's a note on cold and warm audiences. For cold audiences, also, at the attraction phase, when you want to new people to see your content, this is a rule that a lot of people do not know about. It's the 3 to 5 minutes rule. What is the 3 to 5 minute rule? The first 3 to 5 minutes after you post your content is what determines the reach of your content. And that is why you are often advised, some people give the advice, you may not know why, but the reason they give that advice is because if your content doesn't get any form of doesn't signal to the algorithm that people are engaging with it, within 3 to 5 minutes, it begins to be buried. On Instagram, it's the worst. If people do not engage with your content between 3 to 5 minutes of your posting, then they begin to bury it. And I'm going to explain later on the reason you post at optimal times. The entire idea of posting at optimal times is because that is when most of your audience will be online. And so when you post at your optimal time, they engage with it almost immediately. And once they engage with that content, then the algorithm pushes it to more people. And I actually did an experiment recently about posting and optimal times. As if you had watched the ad today, so you would have learned that we spent some money over the last couple of months trying to work with the algorithm. So we actually put our money where our mouth is to see exactly what works and what doesn't work. And some of the things that we're sharing here is what we have seen work, because we spent money, time to actually look at how the algorithm works. So when you post, you want people to engage with your post within the first 3 to 5 minutes. And so what can you do as a business owner who has a small following and you are not sure when they're even online? You stage it. And how do you stage this? You have people, and it's always good if you have like 3 to 5 people in your circle who are your ideal customers. It's important that these 3 to 5 people are your ideal customers, not random people, not members of your staff. Because members of your staff are not your ideal audience. If you post and members of your staff go and engage with it, what the algorithm will do is to share that content to other people that are like members of your staff. Because what the algorithm believes at that point is that, oh, these are the kind of people that like this content, so let me push it to them. And so you're probably somebody who is selling a high ticket item. Maybe you are selling a service and the service is like two to 500,000 naira. And then your staff is earning about 100,000 a month, cannot afford that service, but they are the ones that are engaging with your post. So what happens? The algorithm begins to look for people like them, push your content to them, and of course, those people are not interested, and then your content gets buried. This is why, if you want to boost a content, you need to boost content that has already performed well organically, rather than boosting content because you like it. There's a lot of testing that is involved in the process of visibility. The process of building a system, a visibility system, involves a lot of testing. And organic testing works best. You need to know what your audience likes, why they like it, and if what they like aligns with your business goals. If it doesn't, that's not your audience. You probably have misfired somewhere and you are attracting the wrong audience. So if you are on Instagram from day to day, either you're posting organically or through paid ads and you're not getting inquiries, you're not getting DMs, there is a mismatch. And the first place for you to go check is your content. What are you putting out? Are you using the right content to attract? Because that's where your marketing begins from. You attract before you educate and then convert. So if you're not getting DMs from people inquiring about your business, that means that your attraction is not attracting. So you need to attract the right people. Okay, so that's the 3 to 5 minute rule. I know Tega talked about this when she was speaking about consistency over volume. Remember, this visibility system is built around the content that you put out. Whether you are using that content organically or through paid ads, it works essentially the same way. You have to attract, you have to educate, and then you convert. So you are attracting people with content and you are posting so much content, and yet you are not getting the visibility that you're looking for. What's the problem? Consistency is better than volume. Posting 30 times a month is not strategic if it's not backed by a strategy. It is better for you to have 12 intentional posts. That's a post that attracts, a post that attracts, post that educates, and post that converts, than to have 30 random or chaotic posts. If you're just putting out one type of post, then you're not being strategic. That means that every week you should put out one post to attract, at least one post to attract, at least one post to educate, and then one post to convert. For business owners, it is best for you to post at least 3 times a week. And you can pick Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, or Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It depends. Again, you need to be strategic about the day that you are picking. Mondays, uh, a lot of people are busy. So depending on your audience, they may not spend a lot of time online. So you need to ask yourself, is my audience online at this time, on this day? So if you're intending to attract business owners, high intent business owners, Mondays may not be a good day for you to put out anything serious. And that is why if you look around social media, most businesses only post cards on Mondays. Happy New Week cards. Nothing serious, just a greeting. And let me just quickly say that a Happy New Week card is a card that you're posting to a warm audience. A cold audience doesn't care about your Happy New Week. They don't care about you. So when you're saying Happy New Week, you're not talking to them. You're talking to your followers. You're talking to a warm audience. So if you're thinking that, oh, I'm posting Happy New Week, I'm going to use 10 hashtags to boost it, no one cares really about your Happy New Week. And if you put it out as a reel, you will see that your reel will have very low views. Because really, no one cares about a Happy New Week except people who are actually following you. These are the things that we mean when you're talking about a strategy, when you're talking about a system that actually works. We've talked a lot about attraction because for most business owners, they are looking for new people to get to know them. They're looking for new customers and clients. But sometimes new is not always best. In fact, a business makes most of its money from retargeting, talking to people who already know you or who already know your business. And that's where education comes in. So how do you educate? You build trust with content that educates. What are these content? Anything that you put on a carousel. And you know that a carousel post would always start with, this is the problem. This is how you can solve it. This is what you need to do next. So whether you are putting out 3 content carousel or you're putting out 5 content carousel, that is always the way you should arrange your carousel. The first carousel should attract, state a problem. The next bit should explain how that problem can be solved. And then the final is your call to action, or CTA as we call it. We're going to talk about that in conversion, where you tell people exactly what you want them to do. So if you do not follow this, if you're putting out a carousel, you follow that process. FAQ posts, frequently asked questions. That's another type of content I use to educate. What are the questions that people are asking in your niche? What do they want to know? What are those things that they really do not understand? But you understand it because you're a business owner, you've been working here for a long time, you've heard people ask so many questions, and now you want to help them answer it. For instance, this webinar we are holding about how to start 30 conversations within a month. That's a question that a lot of business owners are asking. And so that's an FAQ type content. Storytelling, your results or your founder journey. Oh, we spent 200,000 naira on ads and this is what we learned. That's educative. And so when you put out that kind of post, it's for a warm audience who already know you. Why? If a person doesn't know you and you are explaining things to them, they won't even believe you. They won't believe what you are saying. But if they know, oh, this person is an authority here, so whatever they are saying must be important. It must be something I would listen to. And so when it comes to educative posts, your founder journey, your client results, that works. The storytelling around that works for warm audiences who already know you. Behind the scenes, oh, this is what we've done. This is how we move this client from here to here. This is how we create systems in Slvr. This is how we do X, Y, Z. Such behind the scenes are for a warm audience who already know you and care about, to a large extent, what you're doing. So if people see your content, maybe you run an ad to a cold audience and then they didn't follow you, you can now use retargeting to go back and remind them that, oh, hey, you saw my content the other day, you didn't follow me. Here's a chance for you to follow me again. And then if what you're educating them on resonates with them, they'll follow you. They'll say, oh, yeah, I saw them the other day. I'm seeing them again now. I think they make sense. Let's follow them and do business with them, which is what's more important. So education content makes people say they get me. It's what moves people from curious to convinced. So you use carousels, you use FAQs, you use stories and BTS to build transparency. So you've attracted, you've educated. What's the next step? You convert. Turn interest into action. And this is where most business owners freeze. They've attracted, they've educated. What should people do next? You're scared of telling people what to do next. You should always have clear in your mind what you want people to do. Do you want them to follow you? Do you want them to do business with you? Do you want to offer them something for free? Do you want to get some kind of information from them? Without a clear next step, you're not marketing, you're just performing. So, for every content you put out, if it's to attract, you do not need a CTA because the people don't even know you yet. So, why are you asking them, what CTA are you going to use? You're not going to ask them to buy immediately because they're not even going to be convinced simply by looking at your first content. So, people generally will not take action in the attraction phase. They will take action after the education phase. So if they've been educated, they'll say, wow, I like what I just heard. I will do XYZ, which is the next action, which you should make very clear to them. So for instance, over the last couple of months, we've been telling people at Slvr, DM Boost will offer you a free audit for your business. And when people had a good number of people, in fact, it got to a point we couldn't take anymore. We had to put people on a wait list. And that's because they've been educated and then they want to take the next step. As part of conversion, are your offers pinned? When people arrive at your page, maybe a person is attracted by content that you put out, and then they come to your page to see what's going on there. They get educated. They say, oh, I like this person. Okay, so what do they want me to do? You should have an offer, a pinned offer, right on your page. Work with us. This is how to work with us. If you want to work with us, these are the steps. Call us, DM us, send us a WhatsApp message. All of those are clear conversion actions. You can also have a lead form. If people come to your page, and this is another big problem, will they get an immediate, helpful response? Or are you going to leave them sitting there for hours before you respond to them? It's always better, and I see business owners do this a lot. Once you just send them a WhatsApp message, you say, oh, my name is this, the blah, blah, blah. I'm going to speak to you in a moment. You see, what goes wrong after this point is that you send someone a message, maybe they're not going to be online for the whole day. And then the next time you send a message, you get the same response that you just did. It's something wrong with your settings on WhatsApp, so you may need to go and check that out. And if you find that you're not able to figure it out, then don't put a welcome message. Because of what use is a welcome message if you're not going to take the next action? So best practices is for you to have a welcome message and then respond to the person as soon as possible, or get someone to do the job for you. And so, what have we learned? We have learned that to build a visibility system and turn interest into action, you need to take 3 steps: attract, educate, convert. That is what makes you booked and visible. As we always say, visibility without strategy is just noise. When you only focus on visibility, you'll get claps, but not clients. But when you combine attraction, education, and conversion, you build a system that brings you 30 conversations in a month or more. And that is what we want. Over to you, Tega.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ms. Abigail, for that fine delivery. Very good, actually very helpful. And for business owners who are looking to get the value for the visibility, conversion from the visibility, do well to implement these tips right away. If you have any difficulty implementing them, if you feel, oh, this is way too much for me to deal with, then Slvr with Digitale, it's just the agency you need to help you get through the process. We're still talking from crickets to conversations, how to build a visibility system that will bring you 30 conversations a month, not just views, not just likes. Now we want to talk about how to start getting those 30 conversations. For some of us, that's what we've been waiting for. What exactly do I do to get people to talk to me about my business? They're only coming to show their faces and say, oh, I like this. But beyond the likes, you want them to speak to you. You want them to ask you, how do I get this? What do I do? How much is this? And then they actually pay for the service or for the offers you are giving. And so we'll look at about 4 different things, 4 to 5 practical steps that you should take as a business owner so that you will be able to get the desired result. I'll share my screen so that we can have a look at that. Okay. All right. So the goal is to start small and build smart. This is very key. A lot of people jump into too many processes at the same time, business owners, and they get overwhelmed. I mean, you already have a business you're trying to manage. Why add too much burden again? So we say start small. You don't have to get into everything all at once. So if as a business owner, you need to first sit down and ask yourself this question: who is my audience? Who are my prospective clients? Who am I looking to engage? What kind of people can afford my service? Now, the first thing you need to do is identify where you have these people. So you choose one platform. For instance, you choose Instagram. What's the benefit of doing that? For Instagram, it will help you to nurture leads. It will help you to build visibility. And that's where you really want to begin, because there you definitely will get people who will be looking into what you're putting out and who would likely want to engage with you and do business with you, which is the ultimate goal. I don't think anybody's on social media just for views or likes. You're looking to get people who would patronize you, who would do business with you. And that's why you need to choose one platform. It doesn't mean you can't post on other platforms. So we're saying your target, your goal, that platform will be where you will invest more attention. And you're thinking creatively, what am I going to put out? How often am I going to do it? So once you have identified that platform, then it's easier for you to move along with identifying your clients and converting visibility so that you get value for money spent. It's also advised that you pick one external base. And for this, we suggest Google Business Profile. This is important because Google Business Profile adds credibility, shows up in local search. So if people are looking for something, a service that you offer, for example, hospitality, you're in the hospitality business, and people are looking for hotels near them, wherever they may be, and you are in that vicinity. If you're in that vicinity and you have done your part, you have updated your Google Business Profile, people will find you. We also suggest that you should do this update weekly. And this is the reason. For some people we've spoken to, when we do an audit of their accounts, we see that for a long time, they've not updated their business profile. They're just moving on as though that does not matter. The first thing people will look at is, when was the last time somebody gave a review of your business? And sometimes that's the most important thing that helps the client to make the decision. So you should update your profile, which is very important. And you can also get your clients who have been serviced by your business, who are satisfied with your business, should do a review for you. You do not want to underestimate the power, the effect of the reviews from satisfied clients. For some clients we've worked with, they actually have these reviews. Some of them in WhatsApp messages, some of them in business, customers leave a comment, send them DMs, but they don't put it out there. If you're keeping it to yourself and you feel, oh yes, I'm actually doing good, people are satisfied with the business I'm offering, that's not enough. Other people need to see what it is others have said about you. People trust what others have said to a reasonable extent. So this is an important aspect if you're starting out to get conversations. Because when people can see what you put out, for instance, on your Instagram page, they go check your Google profile, and they see that, oh, last week, just a few days ago, somebody gave a review of your service. They are more likely to talk to you, to come to your DM and ask further questions. So do not miss that out as a business owner. And while Ms. Abigail was talking about content, she highlighted something very important. You do not leave your audience to decide what to do with your posts. You need to tell them the action they need to take. So if I like what you have put out on your Instagram page, for instance, and I'm happy with it, I need something like a call to action, something that is like will prompt me to get in touch with you, which is why we say pick one strong offer. For us, we've tried DM boost, and like like we heard a few minutes ago, we had to put some people on a wait list. It is not something that should be ignored. When you give people something to say, they don't need to think about what questions should I ask, how do I go about communicating or engaging with this person. You just tell them GM boost, and then they do that, and the conversation can flow from there. You can also say you want a strategy call. It's free, a free audit. When people see this, they're more inclined to speak to you as the business owner because they understand that you know what you are doing. They are not stranded, they are not left in the dark. They actually understand where you are going and how you want them to engage. So we really would say that it's important for you to follow up on that and ensure that you give them something to say. So if you've not tried that before, try it. When you put out content, give your prospects something to do. You can ask them to send us a DM or just click this link to get a free strategy call. These are very helpful things that can help you generate conversations. We have tried it and we can assure you it works. Another important step that you need to take, uh, we talked about it briefly. We've said post consistently, ensure that you are putting out not just one type of content. For many business owners, it's always come and buy. We have brought new designs. We are selling this. Have you seen this one? Yeah, while you have a lot to show people, you want them to buy from you, you want them to do business with you. It's also very important that you give them value. So, for instance, you're a jewelry seller, you have a jewelry business. You shouldn't just always tell them about the new designs and the price of the new designs. What about telling your audience about how to keep their jewelry safe, protect it from um, rust, how to take care of it when you come back in the evening after using jewelry? What steps could they take? You're offering value. You're telling them things that they need to know, how to keep, how to protect this jewelry. When people see that there is value, they look forward to more. In fact, they want to always come and see what you have to say and not just what you're selling. And in trying to follow up with the value you're offering, they also see what services and what goods and what you have for sale at that time, and they patronize you. So you need to engage your audience in a way that they are not always thinking that you want them to buy from you. Of course, that's the ultimate goal, but you yourself well know that even on social media, if you see an ad or if you see a post constantly always talking about selling, 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 you tune off. For me, sometimes I just go and I mute that post because I'm tired. But when something adds value to your audience, they will want to stay with you. They will follow you, they will share your post, and I can assure you, because it's the right audience, the person is sharing with others who will also have the same interest as they do, and your business will definitely grow. So you could try doing this. If you have a goal to post 3 times a week, you could just educate your audience on a key marketing principle or trends. Make it very brief. You could do 3, because like Abigail said, people have short attention span. Anything too lengthy, anything too long, they're already disinterested and they're not going to stay on. So you could just talk about how to fix certain challenges. And you can be sure that those who know what you're selling, who are interested in what you're selling and see the value that you are sharing, will stick with you, will share with others, will invite others to do business with you. You also want to drive traffic to your offer by using simple call to actions. We've talked about that before. It's important to use simple expressions, DM strategy, DM boost. And once they do that, they just send you that expression, ensure that you engage them. And then one thing which we have highlighted too is to ensure that you are sharing testimonials. Well, of course, sometimes clients may say, oh, I do not want my face to be seen. We've tried that as an agency, and we've seen that for those who even do not want their faces to be seen, their voices can share testimonials. They can talk about what they've benefited from you, from doing business with you, from buying from you. So by all means, update those testimonials. I know of small, very small business owners, those micro business owners, who would, when you buy something, a product from them, they will send you a message afterwards and say, I hope you liked what you got. I hope you were satisfied with the product. I hope you were satisfied with the service we rendered. And you would give a comment. You say, oh, yes, I actually got it. And it was delivered as you had advertised it. So that keeps people talking about your business, because people will go and check what have they said about this product before you buy. I remember one time I was trying to order something online. I had to first go see what are people saying about this product, because I don't want to buy and then see that it's not worth it. I've wasted my money. Nobody wants to waste money in this economy. So the important thing is, what did others say? How long ago did they say it? So if you can get reviews, you also want to put that out. You can use that as a proof post every Friday. If you choose to do 3 times a week, for instance, you do a value post on Monday, do a CTA post on Wednesday, and then on Friday, you do a proof post. These are things you can do. And I can assure you, 30 conversations are even small. A lot of people will engage you, will come to you to ask questions about the service that you are offering. Now, we've talked about boosting posts, very important. But it's good to note that not every post should be boosted. In fact, you should start boosting posts that are actually doing well organically. So if you have 3 posts in a week, for instance, and then one of it is doing quite well, maybe your CTA post. That's the kind of post that you should boost because already it is doing well organically. So the tendency is that it will be shown to more people who have seen that post or that kind of group of people, and you are very likely to get results because already that post has done well. You don't want to use your worst post for the week and say, oh, because this one didn't do quite well, maybe I should just boost it so that more people will see it. Well, you could think in that direction, but it's certainly not the best way to go. Always isolate the post. So you need to be checking, how did this post do? Which post did better? And then boost such posts. You're sure to get results. So be intentional about boosting your post because that's the only way that you can use a system that works, that would lead to conversion, that will make people see you and want to do business with you. Not just see you, not just, oh, I like it and take the needed steps. So we've talked about choosing a platform, ensure that the platform you are choosing is a place where you're likely to find people who understand your business, who are interested in your business, and who are able to afford your service. Then it's also important for you to decide what kind of content, and then they have a schedule, a proper schedule, and work with it. Not just sell every time to get people irritated and tired, but give them value and help them see why they can also benefit from you, what they can gain from following you. And as they do that, they get to see more things, and then they do business with you and invite others to do same. So another thing that you can do, which we have talked about, is to follow up consistently. Following up consistently ensures that people do not talk to you and you go silent on them. So you should ensure that you are keeping track. Those who contacted you, what are they asking? Have you responded to them? How long does it take for you to respond to them? If it takes several hours, I remember one time someone who does business online, I think somebody contacted them and the person didn't respond. It took them several days to respond. And when finally they did respond, the person asked, you are just responding after 3 days. It was a whole lot of drama because the other person, the business owner, was like, I have a lot of people I'm responding to. Said, no, it doesn't work that way. You should have a system where people can actually talk to you and get a response. So if you find it overwhelming attending to DMs, if you find it overwhelming responding to comments, get somebody to do the job for you. Get that part of the business sorted, because if I come to your page, one person asks a question. I saw a business owner the other day posted some item of clothing, and people were asking, oh, how much, and like a number of people had asked how much. No response. Somebody just came, you post something and people will ask questions and you will not answer. That's already a stain on the business owner. So you don't want to be like that. In fact, we sometimes tell people, if someone has contacted you, you could also use reminders. If they stopped at some point, you could use reminders. Hey, hello, we're just checking on you to see if you're still interested in, maybe the strategy session was what you put up and advertised for, and somebody showed an interest but did not follow up on the next step, which you informed them about. You can send them a message and say, we're still checking to see if you're still interested in the free strategy session. That does not mean you are desperate. You know what you're looking to achieve. And so that also tells the business owner that you find them important enough, to talk to them, to reach out to them. You could also send a voice note if you feel, okay, I'm not able to chat with this person. You could send a voice note so that when they listen to it, they get to know what steps, further steps that they need to take to be able to do business with you. But it is very important that you try to respond at least within 2 hours when people contact you. I mean, during the day, not at night when you're sleeping, unless your business is a nighttime business. But during the day, you want to ensure that you respond or reply within 2 hours. Show that you value the interest that the prospect has shown in your business. It is only when you do this that you'll be able to retain the interest and even convert it so that the person pays for the service. You can close that deal. Otherwise, you just keep getting people come to you, you leave them, they go cold. You keep getting people come to you, you leave them, they go cold. And people go off with the idea that this person is an unserious business owner. So to get conversations, these are the steps we have recommended that you take. Step one, you should choose a platform. And when you choose a platform, ensure that you're posting consistently on that platform, and also use Google Business Profile. Let people know who you are. Do not be invisible. People should be able to see you behind the business and say, this person got a 5-star review. This person got 10 people talking about the business. It must surely be legitimate, because people are afraid. There's fraud everywhere, and people can be rather scared of getting involved in online businesses. But when they see reviews from real people, and then recently updated review, remember we mentioned you want to do this every week to ensure that it is alive, it is new, it is fresh. People can see that it's not something from 6 years ago. I can't be looking for a place to spend the night, and the review I'm seeing about your hotel or is something from 6 years ago or 3 years ago or even 6 months ago. Something is not right. I may be wondering, are these people even for real? What would have happened to the business? But if I'm seeing something, a review from a client or a customer from 2 weeks ago, from the week before, or just a couple of days ago, I'm more likely to, check you out further, to reach out to you, whether via calls or WhatsApp, to find out details about your business. The other thing we talked about is to ensure that you pick one strong offer. So you need to ask yourself, which offer will work for me? What exactly do I want my audience to do? What steps should they take? Do not just put out a post and say, oh, I have posted this week. We posted Monday, we posted Wednesday and Friday. Some business owners will tell you, yes, we post every week, very consistent. So what system are you using to get people to talk to you? If you use a strong offer, you are very, very sure you're going to get engagements. People are going to talk to you about your business. So if you've not been trying this, or you've done it and you didn't stick with it, please go back to doing it. If you have challenges doing it, talk to us at Silver Wolf Digital. It's something we love doing and we do it well. Then we talked about the kind of content you put out. Don't just sell, sell, sell. People are tired of come and buy, come and buy, come and do business with me. I do this, I sell this, I install this. No, talk to them about how to protect what they already have that you do. If you're dealing with inverters, you can talk to them about how to make it last longer. You can talk about how to protect your devices. You should think about what value can I bring to my audience? What exactly can I teach them or tell them that will help them, benefit them, before they can now begin to think of, oh, that man that sells, let's even talk to him about this product or this service. So it's very important. And of course, boost intentionally. This is one mistake that many people do. They boost randomly. But we are saying you need to be intentional about boosting. Specifically, pick content that is already gaining traction. pick content that appeals to people and boost such content. And of course, you need to follow up consistently. We're confident that if you do this, you're going to get 30 conversations. We mean it when we say 30. We do not want to go beyond 30, but we can even assure you that you could go beyond those 30 conversations that will actually convert, not just asking you random questions, but conversations that will lead to sales, which is the ultimate goal. So we are moving on to the next part of the webinar, and we have just finished talking about how to start getting 30 conversations a month. Now we want to talk about mistakes you can't undo. So we want to give our attention to Ms. Abigail so that she takes us through that part of the program.
Um, Thank you very much, Tega, and thank you for those very great insights that you brought to this conversation. I was listening to you and saying to myself, wow, great, fantastic, well done. Thank you so much for the insights that you brought into that topic as to how you can actually get 30 conversations in a month. Now, we want to talk about mistakes that we cannot undo. And I'm going to be talking about 4 mistakes that we cannot undo here at Slvr. So if you find yourself um, making any of these 4 mistakes, then you may have to find help elsewhere because Slvr will not be able to help you with these problems. So the goal here is that we want to learn the 4 mistakes that we cannot correct and what you can do about them. And the 4 mistakes we're going to be talking about is no Google presence at all. You have an Instagram with no offer, no CTA, no follow-up. You are rebranding without building visibility. And you have a broken ad account from random boosting. So we're going to start off by looking at your Google business, Google presence. Tega mentioned this, that as a business owner, one of the first places that you should be found, especially if you're running a local business, is Google business profile. You should have a Google business profile. The interesting thing about Google business profile is that it's actually free to have. It's free to have a Google business profile. And for a lot of people, your Google business profile has already been created for you. So if you have a physical business, there's a large possibility that your business has been profiled by someone from Google already, either a Google contributor or someone who has visited your business. Because if you recall, maybe if you are someone who uses social media, you would recall that, or who uses Google, who has a Gmail account, let me say that. If you have a Gmail account, you notice that if you visit certain places, the moment you leave, the first question you are asked is, how was your experience? And then sometimes you get this notification from Google saying, did you like, and they mention the name of the business. And sometimes you get a notification saying, you were looking for this place. Is that the actual place? Is this place actually what it says it is? So Google has invested a lot of money in creating that ecosystem, that architecture, that's a better word, in creating the architecture for profiling businesses. And so if your business has a business has a physical location that has in your profile. How would you know if it's in profile? Because Google name. Google name. Business profile there says you can claim your Google profile or someone else has claimed it. If someone else has claimed your Google business profile, we can't help you. But if it has not been claimed and you need help claiming your business profile, yes, you can talk to us. We can help you to claim your Google business profile if you don't know how to do so yourself. Although it's very easy, it's something you can do yourself. Just claim it. Claim that you are the owner of the business, and then Google will ask you a couple of questions about the business, and then you just enter the responses, and there you have it. You have a Google business profile. But that's not where it ends. Once you've claimed your Google business profile, you then need to update your Google business profile. When Tiger was talking about reviews, that's where you can send the link to people who visit your business so that they can send you reviews. For instance, after this webinar, you probably get a link from us saying, did you enjoy the webinar? Leave us a review. And then if you use Gmail, as most of you do, you just leave a review. If you enjoyed the webinar, you say, oh, I attended a webinar that was hosted by Slvr Digitale, and I enjoyed the webinar. So they are good at doing webinars. And that's how you build credibility for your business. When a lot of people send reviews, then you're building credibility, you're building trust for your business, and that's how your business grows. Because by the time you build credibility and trust, then when people search for things that are related to your business on Google, Google will serve your business to them. And that is why sometimes when you say, oh, I want to buy a new pair of shoes, where is the fastest place? Maybe you're in a hurry, you're thinking, oh, where's the fastest? Or you move to a new location and you're like, where do they sell the best jollof rice in this area? You can just actually Google it. You can type best jollof rice in such area, and businesses show up. Those businesses that show up are businesses that have claimed their Google business profile. And then when they show up, what do? You now begin to check, this one, look at what they've said about this one. They said this one, their jollof rice has too much pepper. No, I'm not going. Oh, this one seems to have like 5-star reviews, 10. Okay, let's go there. So if you have not claimed your Google business profile, you've not started. But there's something else to note about Google business profile, which is that you do not even need to have a physical store to claim a Google business profile. You can have a Google business profile for a business that exists online only. You have an online only business, you can still have a Google business profile. Google will just ask you some questions when you go to go to Google business profile. Just type that in, Google business profile, click, and then you'll get to the page, and Google would request certain information from you to prove that you're a real person, that your business actually exists. And then when you follow all those requests, you get a Google business profile, which means that if people are also searching for business that has to do with your business, things that has to do with your business, and you are giving out the right trust signals, Google will serve your business along with businesses with physical stores. So we can help you if you have not claimed your Google business profile. But if someone else has claimed your business profile because you didn't claim it on time, we cannot help you with that. So action that needs to be taken at this point, go and check. If you have not claimed your business profile, go and do so at once. The next is you're running an Instagram account You do not have an offer, you do not have a CTA, and you do not follow up. Now, what is an offer? A lot of people misunderstand the word offer to mean what you sell. Yes, an offer can be what you sell, but offers go beyond what you sell to how you sell what you sell. Now, I'll give you an example. You're a clothing store. You sell, let's say, ready to wear traditional dresses for women. When someone asks you what's your offer, you probably say, "Oh, I sell ready to wear traditional gowns for women." But how many other people do this exact same thing that you do? So if you were selling ready to wear clothes on, maybe you have a Google storefront, or you're using Instagram as your storefront, or you're selling through Facebook, why would I buy from you and not the next person? You might say, "Oh, I make stunning designs." Oh, yes, you do. But are you the only one who makes stunning designs? There's so many people who make stunning designs. So, again, what makes you different? Say, I deliver for free. Aha, that's an offer. Because not many people deliver for free. In fact, delivery fee has stopped many people from selling. Somebody wants to buy something from you and they ask you, "What's your delivery fee?" And you say, 5,000 naira. Say, "No, I'm not going to buy. Let me look for somebody near me." So what's your offer? Say, "Oh, I deliver at half price. If you buy something worth 50,000, I'll deliver at half price." That's an offer. Or you say, "If you buy for 100,000, I'll deliver at no price at all." That's an offer. Or you say, "If you buy this from me, I'm going to add a gift." That's an offer. So what is your offer? You should be able to think round the business that you do and ask yourself, why would someone buy from me and not the next person? And this should not have anything to do just with your expertise, except you are working in a niche market where no other person has that expertise that you have. But you know that that's not, we'll be fooling ourselves if we believe that I am the best in my niche. How many other people in your niche have you actually met? Even if you've met 100 and you're better than the 100, what about the other 1,000 people who are doing the same thing? So you need to be able to figure out what your offer is. And when you are creating content, that offer is what you should put in front of people at the attraction stage, because that is why they will come to you. That offer that will make people think, "I'll actually be stupid if I don't do this." That is the offer that people want. And it takes a lot of thinking, a lot of strategic thinking to come up with an offer that people cannot refuse. See that expression, an offer you cannot refuse? That's where it comes from. Your offer. What is your offer? So think, as a business person, think about it. And this is something that we do here at Slvr when it comes to strategy. We are able to sit with business owners and talk to them about their offer so that they can think around it and come up with an offer that people cannot refuse. The next thing is CTA. We're talking about offer, we're talking about CTA. Your CTA, or your call to action, is what you want people to do after they see your offer. So let's say you are offering people free delivery for purchases above 100,000 naira. That's your offer. What do you want them to do? You want them to buy something above 100,000 naira. So That's your call to action. Buy now and get this free. Buy now for free delivery. And your CTA should have a reason why people should do it at that time. And that's why urgency is something else that you should add to your offer. So, why should people buy now? Because your offer goes away in 3 days. That adds urgency. So, if you do not book, if you do not buy this ready to wear dress between now and the end of the month, you won't see it after next month. Now, if you want to really make your CTA compelling and add urgency to it, go by your words. So if you tell people this is a 1 week only offer, they should not come back in 2 weeks and you are still doing it. Nobody will take you seriously afterwards. Next time when you say, oh, it's only for 5 days, nobody's going to believe you because you did not stay with what you said to start with. They're just going to say, and I saw them they talk. Leave them to next week, you go still there. So if you want to build urgency into your CTA, you should stay with it. So if you say, oh, this thing is just for 2 weeks, after 2 weeks, close it. Even if you have to reopen it after 3 months or 2 months, that should be a reopening. But once you've said the offer ends, don't do no extensions, nothing. Close the offer. So that next time when you make such an offer, people will take you more seriously. And then after the offer is the follow-up. A lot of times we don't even know what to do after people have clicked on our offer and taken the action that we want them to take. And I'll give you a very an example of this. So you've made an offer, and we are going back to the person that is supposed to buy a dress from you. So you made the offer. The offer is after delivery, we would, if you make a purchase of 100,000, it's free delivery. And someone has come to you and say, okay, I want to, I want to buy what you're selling. And then you're like, okay, which of them do you want to buy? And then the person says, which one do you have right now? And you say, I have many different designs. It depends on what you want. And then the person says, let me see the different designs that you want, that you have. You don't even have a catalog of those designs anywhere. What that means is that you are not even ready to sell. Because this conversation should not even be happening. If you have told someone I sell ready to wear women's gowns, the moment a person clicks and says, I want to buy, the first thing you should have the onboarding, what we call an onboarding process. What do you want the person to do immediately? What should they do next? What should happen next? How do you close this deal? All that process should already be in place.
I think we've got a network glitch, so she's going to rejoin us. Thank you for the time you're spending with us. Just a couple of minutes, and she'll be back to continue with the conversation. Just hold on a bit. Thank you. Remember that you can drop questions in the chat so that we can attend to them and answer your questions at the end of, yes, Cabot, I can steal your message. Yes, Ms. Abigail will be rejoining shortly. So if you have any questions or comments, please drop it in in-call messages and we will attend to them. Thank you so much. Ms. Abigail is still trying to join us. Just a few more minutes. She's almost back in. Remember, we're talking crickets to conversations, how to build a system that brings 30 conversations a month. We understand that you have picked up a couple of insightful information that will help you get such conversations and convert them. So let's give it some more minutes, Ms. Abigail. Welcome back, madam.
Yeah, I just noticed also. Thank you, Cabot Sterling. Thank you for letting me know that I was muted. I was busy making a joke about Glow and MTN. But thank you so much. So just before I was bumped off that call, I was talking about um, the 3 steps: attract, educate, convert, and we were at the part where I was talking about no follow up. And that is being able to build a system. Remember that we're talking about a visibility system. So you get 30 conversations and then you want to convert. Because what is the use of getting people inquiring if you do not have a system to convert the inquirers to take action? So if you do not have that system and you are not ready to build that system, it can't help you. You should have a system or be ready to build a system. And this is something else that we've noticed that business owners are not willing to do. They're not willing to invest in building a system. All of us want everything ready-made. Can you get me, I have heard people come, can you give me 20,000 followers? I'm sorry, why do you need 20,000 followers? You need maybe 20 people to do business with you. That's all you need. And if you have those 20 people doing recurring business with you every single month, your business is probably set up for life. So why are you looking for 20,000 followers? So after people have clicked on your offer and contacted you, what happens next? What system do you have to cultivate their interest? What system do you have to build on your CTA or your call to action? You need to have a system, an onboarding system in place. And as I was saying, what we've noticed is that a lot of business owners don't want to invest in an onboarding system. They just want everything for free. But you need to be able to make that investment. Think ahead. If someone clicks on my offer and asks this, what do I do? And so you can have an FAQ system, frequently asked questions. If you have been doing business for 1 year, 2 years, there are some recurring questions that people ask about your business. Have you compiled those questions and put them somewhere? WhatsApp even gives you an opportunity to create an FAQ system. Instagram gives you an opportunity to have an FAQ system. Your website, you can create an FAQ system so that once people ask a question about your business, you can direct them there. That's, oh, we've already treated this in our FAQ, and there are other questions that you might ask, which is already in the FAQ. Or you can build an automated system where once people ask questions, you give them an answer immediately. Oh, there are regular questions that people ask, and these are the regular answers. So you build that into your WhatsApp messaging. They ask this, I answer this. They ask this, I answer this. Again, it depends on the level at which you are playing. If you are playing big time and you are growing, you are a growth stage business and you're trying to become bigger than you already are, then you should invest in systems. So like I said, remember we are discussing where Silverwolf cannot help. We've talked about two. Number one, if you have allowed someone to claim your Google business profile, we cannot help you. Number two, if you are not ready to invest in a system that would lead you to attract, educate, and convert, we cannot help you. Social media is not magic, and it does not work like magic. A lot of people are so concerned about virality. You do not need virality. You need people, you need visibility, actually. You do not need virality, you need visibility. You need to speak to the right people on the right platform for the right reasons. We are moving on to number 3 as to when we cannot help. When you are focused on rebranding but not building visibility. This is one that a lot of business owners struggle with. I know that even here at Silverwolf, we struggled with it for a bit. We're thinking of, doing all the beautiful things. Have a beautiful website. Have a beautiful Instagram page. Have good graphics. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But it can end up being beautiful nothing if nobody sees it. So a lot of business owners are invested. They spend a lot of money in branding. Oh, they need to get the best logo. Oh, they need to paint their building. They need to have beautiful chairs. They need to have this, that. Yes, those things are good. And they are good for your brand because your brand is what people feel when they see your company, maybe they see your logo, they say, these people, I like them. We say that one of the biggest companies when it comes to branding is Coca-Cola. And when you see the Coca-Cola brand, you actually know what to identify them with. Mountain Dew, you know what you think about immediately. Colgate, you know what you think about immediately. Mr. Biggs, you know what you think about immediately. But beyond branding, and more important than branding, is visibility. And branding is not equal to visibility. Visibility, as we always say, is being seen by the right people at the right time or at the right platform for the right reasons. And if you have not worked on your visibility, you are wasting your time working on your branding. People need to see you to be able to buy from you. They need to see you first before they look at your logo and see whether it's fine or not. So you need to work on a visibility system and a branding system. Because when they see you, you want them to see the right things. But you don't want to do one and leave the other. They work hand in hand, but they are not the same thing. So when can we not help you? We cannot help you if you are focused on branding and not on creating a visibility system. If all you're thinking about is how to make your brand look good, and you're not interested in how to build a visibility system, we cannot help you. And remember what makes up a visibility system. We keep repeating it. Attract, educate, convert. If you are not ready to invest in that system, then Silverwolf can unfortunately not help you. And your visibility system always starts with an audit. It's always good for you to know where you're coming from to be able to determine where you're going. If you do not know where you're coming from, you cannot tell where you're going. So the first thing that Silverwolf will always do with brands that we work with is that we would conduct a brand audit, social media brand audit. Look at your social media system. What are you getting right already? What needs to improve? When we look at your system, then we can tell what does your profile look like? Is it clear? When people get to your page, are they sure of what you are doing immediately? And let me quickly talk about something that a lot of business owners do. And it's a misconception based on some things that people have, some common SEO practices, which are outdated. When they used to work as past, it doesn't work anymore. You see the name of their business, best food seller in Abeokuta. Okay, that's your Instagram name. What are we supposed to do with that? Who are you? How many best food sellers in Abeokuta do we have? Are you the only one? And you know that on social media, people can bear the same name, but they cannot have the same handle. And so for a lot of business owners, they spend so much time trying to craft that name and not enough time thinking about their username, which is what makes you distinct. That username is where you should actually build in what you do and not basically your name itself. Yes, when you say your name is this, best shoemaker, best this, or best that, it works in the immediate. But are you building for immediate visibility or long-term visibility? So something that works like a growth spurt, you plant a seed among the rocks. It grows immediately, but what happens later? It dies. So we cannot help you if you're more focused on branding than on visibility. And the last here is a lot of business owners are guilty of this one. Broken ad accounts from random boosting. Broken ad accounts from random boosting. A lot of people who use Instagram, it's very easy to boost on Instagram. In fact, the moment you just post something and it gets a little bit of traction, Instagram will tell you, this content is doing well. Consider boosting it. And then you boost. You boost the first time and you find that I got inquiries, so I got plenty inquiries, and then you boost again. You get more inquiries. You're not checking to ask yourself, are these inquiries actually converting? It will take you a bit of time before you now start, because there's a thrill to people making inquiries. There's a thrill that comes with it. So, oh, people are just busy asking about my business, and you hope that they will convert. Yes, sometimes a few of them convert, but what that happens while you are boosting without strategy is that the algorithm learns that that's what you want. You want that high. It's like somebody on cocaine. You get that high immediately, and then afterwards there's a crash, and then sometime later you want the high again. That's what boosting does. Boosting on Instagram is not a long-term strategy. It's something that you can do strategically for a purpose. But immediately that purpose is served, you stop it and you move to ads manager to actually get more control over who messages your business and why. So if you find yourself in that endless circle, you boost for 3 days, and that's what most business owners do. You boost for 3 days, and the content is not working again. You stop. After 1 week, you think of another content to boost. You stop. After 3 days, you go again. You are destroying your ad account. In fact, when eventually you want to start boosting from ad manager, you discover that your ad account is not performing because the algorithm has been trained on boosting posts and not control over how a post is made. So if you have broken your ad account from random boosting, we cannot help you. So what have we learned? 4 things that you are doing as a business owner that you need to stop immediately if you actually want to grow your business. The first is you should go and claim your Google business profile. The second is that you should, your Instagram account must have an offer. Your content on Instagram must have an offer. It must have a call to action, and you must have a follow-up system or an onboarding system in place. Then you must not put rebranding above building a visibility system. And then finally, run away from random boosting. To not help you, to not help your business in the long run. If you are doing this, or if you insist on doing any of these things, we can't even start. You're not just invisible, you are invisible and unprepared. Thank you very much for joining this webinar today. As Tega mentioned, if you have any questions that you would like to ask, you are free to ask your questions. You either use we have about 5 minutes to take questions, to take comments. From you. And this Cricket to Conversations webinar that we just held is how Silver Wolf gives back to the community. So our webinars will always be free. In the next 3 months, we're going to have another like this, where we also talk about something else that is salient, that is affecting business owners. We continue to test, we continue to learn, we continue to grow. And as we do that, we share all that we are learning with the community. So If you have any questions, any comments, you can share them now. Um, you can use the send message, or you can use the raise hand tool as you may wish. Give you a few minutes for that.
Thank you very much for joining this webinar. We sure hope you have learned a thing or two you will implement in your business, and we wish you all the best as you go along. Remember, you can reach out to us via our different platforms, and let's talk about how you can put into use all the information. If you find at any point feeling overwhelmed, talk to us and we can see how we help you achieve your goals. So do enjoy the rest of your day, and we look forward to see you in our next webinar. Bye for now.